This is a story called The Little Monsters at Christmas, chapter 118. The little kids sneak out of school to go Christmas shopping alone. The kids are on their way to school when Joshua asked Stumpy, "Stumpy, please will you lot take us Christmas shopping in town?" "No, Joshua, we all have school and so do you," answered Stumpy. "Oh, but Stumpy, we don't want to go to school," said Joshua. "Well, you're going whether you want to or not," said Stumpy. "You take us, won't you, Kicker?" asked Ellie. "No, I won't, Ellie," answered Kicker. Bumper, Bumper, will you take us, please?" "No, I won't. We're off to school, all of us." "Right, guys," said Bumper. All the gang agreed, leaving the little kids feeling sad and disappointed. As soon as the big kids dropped them off at their part of the school and turned their backs, the little kids made sure the coast was clear and then ran off. They ran as fast as they could to the bus stop. As soon as they got there, the bus came and they jumped on it. As soon as they got into town, they all made their way back to school and made it look like they'd been there all day. The next day after the big kids dropped them off, the little kids did the same thing again. When they'd finished shopping this time, they sneaked back home and hid everything in their rooms. The next day when they arrived at school, they couldn't escape because the big kids were talking to a friend who was dropping her little sister off. However, after about 5 minutes, the school bell went and the big kids made their way round to their part of the school. This meant that the little ones could now escape. They ran to the bus stop and whilst they waited for the bus, they stood behind some adults. When the bus came and they got on, they made it look like they were with the adults. When they got into town, they went round buying as much stuff as they could, and then they sneaked home and hid everything. Then they made their way back to school and once again made it look like they'd been there all day. Their teachers just thought that they were all off sick. The next day, the big kids took them right into school because much to everyone's amusement, Kicker was desperate for a wee. However, as soon as the big kids and the teachers turned their backs, the little kids sneaked out of school through the back entrance, ran to the bus stop and went into town again. After they'd only been in town for about 10 minutes, Emily said, "Oh no, our mums are over there. Quick, hide behind this lorry." They all hid behind the lorry and as soon as their mums disappeared, they went deeper into town. This time they didn't buy much, but what they did buy, they sneaked back home and hid it. Then they went back to school and waited for the big kids to pick them up. They continued to do this for the rest of the week. At the weekend, the big kids took them into town Christmas shopping, not realising that they'd already been. The following Monday, as soon as the big kids dropped them off, they waited until no one was looking and ran as fast as they could to the bus stop. When they got into town, they decided to go to a different part of town. However, as they did so, they spotted their mums again and ran and hid. What they didn't realise is that their mums had seen them and the quad's mum, Jane, said, "Am I seeing things or is that our little ones over there?" "No, Jane, you're not seeing things. We all saw them," said Joshua's mum, Mary. "Come on, let's follow them and see where they go," said Joanna's mum, Joanne. However, the little ones had seen them and run off. They got the bus home and hung around on the park not far from the school. As soon as they saw the parents arriving to pick up their little ones, they ran back into school through the back entrance. Then they went into the playground and saw the big kids, and then they all went home. The parents decided not to say anything. The next day they hung around near the school where the little ones couldn't see them. When they saw them go inside, they all breathed a sigh of relief. However, what they didn't realise is that they'd left the school through the back entrance. Their teachers were quite concerned that they hadn't been to school. At lunchtime they spoke to Kicker and the gang, and Bumpy said, "That doesn't make sense because we brought them every day and watched them go in." "Well, in that case, we best get Mrs. Scott to deal with this," said Mrs. Applejack. They all went to Mrs. Scott's office and explained the situation to her. She gave the kids permission to have the afternoon off to go and find the little ones. Then she rang their parents. The gang went into town to look for the little kids. As soon as they got off the bus, they spotted them and tried to get to them. However, they saw them and tried to run off, but their mums managed to stop them. "Just where on earth do you think you're going?" "We're going into town Christmas shopping, Mummy," answered Elsie. "You little ones are going nowhere. As far as you big ones, as for you big ones, Mrs. Scott said you don't have to go back if you don't want to. It's up to you guys what you do for the rest of the day. It's your sleepover at mine tonight, so make sure you're back by 9 and in bed by 10, said Jim. "OK, Mum, but you know we won't be in town too late anyway," said Kicker. "OK, sweetheart," said Jane. The little kids and their mums all went back to Jane's house. When they got there, Jane said to them, "What you did not get going into school and going into town on your own wasn't just very naughty, it was also very dangerous. There's some very, very bad, dangerous people out there. Anything could have happened to you and we might not have seen each other ever again." The little kids thought the situation was hilarious, so their mums grabbed them and smacked them really hard on their bums, making them cry. And Joanna's mummy said, "We're phoning Santa and telling him how naughty you've all been." This made them cry even more. Then Jane said, "Right, my lot, get upstairs, put your pyjamas on and go to bed. There'll be no story for any of you tonight because you've been too naughty. The rest of you, go home with your mums." Ellie and the Quads did as they were told, and the others got the same punishment when they got home. The big kids came home about 6:30 p.m. because they were bored and cold. They went in Kicker's games room and played computer games for a while. It's fair to say that the little ones had learnt their lesson. Well, for now, at least. End of chapter 118. Hope you like it, guys. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, please feel free to like, share, comment and subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook and Instagram, please feel free to like, share, comment and to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Take care of yourselves, peeps. Merry Christmas. Love you.